Hello, welcome everybody. You see the title, you see the thumbnail, you already know what's up. Today's video is it's an interesting one. It's gonna be done really late, and I'm actually having to do this in a different way. So yeah, the camera angle is gonna be a bit weird on this one. It's taking into account how big this thing is. So yeah, just bear with me. I even got my laptop with me just to help me figure out all the different types that are in this thing. So this might be a little bit long, but yeah, that's to be expected. I gotta do this because these things are going in storage. But yeah. So today's screw it. You know what? Hold on. Let me get the blast the things up. Yeah, I wasn't kidding about that. That's why they have the camera angle. And there's more. Actually. Yep. Ta-da! Yeah, there's a lot of flowers. And yes, I was the one that had to build them when they were purchased. Where do I begin with these things? Well, let's see. For starters, it's a mixed bag. And I think there was also some unofficial customs that were thrown in here as well. So, yeah. There's that to take into account. So, given the fact that there's so many of these things, I'm just going to go through the instructions because thankfully, when they made the set, what they did is they provided like the species identification for the different groups of flowers you were building, so that way you knew, oh, hey, I'm working on a Welsh poppy, or I'm working on a, cow parsley. What in the world? Or Queen Anne's lace, Persil sauvage. Flowers have a lot of names. They have a lot of names. What in the world? Okay. So yeah, bear with me because this is going to be a long one. I'm aware my face is covered in flowers. Leave me alone. I'm working here. It's late. It's 3:23 in the morning for me. So screw it. We're going to go with this one. So you can see some of these. And here, don't get me wrong, these are beautiful. They are really great. However, there's a number of things. So first things first, we got this one, right? I'm going the wrong way in the instructions things to pen it over. This is a leatherleaf fern. These things came in set number, not that one. These came in the Lego Botanical Collection of the Wildflower Bouquet, which is also set number ID 10313. The other set that is part of this is also the Lego Botanical Collection Flower Bouquet, that is set ID number 10280. So we got that. I should have mentioned that, I apologize, but yeah, no. There's two different flower bouquets. The Botanical Collection for the Flower Bouquet, and then there's the Wildflower Bouquet. So it seems I'm starting with the Wildflower. Yep, Wildflower Bouquet it is. So yeah, that was the leatherleaf fern. Let's see what else we got. So we got some cow parsley here, also known as Queen Anne's lace, Persil Sauvage. I really hope I'm saying that right. If I'm not, I apologize. I don't really do flowers. I mean, I can arrange them, sure, but yeah, no. When it comes to remembering everything with that, yeah, don't bother asking. Let's see. Okay, here's another one. So this is a Welsh poppy. Yes, that's a Welsh poppy. I will also note that I'm actually impressed with how it is that they've managed to build these things, because really it's just, I mean, come on, hold on. Let me get a good one. I think this is a stem. Ooh. Can I not break these things? This is a snapdragon, and in case you can't tell what these are pirate hats. Yes, these are dusty. I will get into that later. Leave me alone, okay? So, we got that. Oh, also, note, these things do have weight to them. So, you can see that bending a bit. And provided you put them in that position for a long, extended period of time, yeah, that means your Legos are gonna bend. Which is not great depending, how am I gonna put this back? Which is not great depending on what it is you're looking for with your set's state of care, I guess, but it's whatever. Okay, let's see, what else we got? Bear in mind, I am doing what I can with the instructions. Aha! So I think the next one we have from Wildflower Bouquet is one of these. Oh gods. Yeah, of course it's you. So here, I think there's another one around here. If I can find it. There's a lot of them in here, and that's the problem. There's a lot of them in here. Oh, there's one. Okay, give me a moment. There we go. So there's two versions, but both are the same flower apparently. And these are cornflowers. Look at that. There's a little white one, and there's some blue ones. I really should be careful with these because they could possibly go flying, and I'm not gonna do that. But yeah. I love the little building techniques they have here, which is nice. The part usage. I will say this, warning in advance, be careful with these things, because yes, there is a good possibility and likelihood that they can just go flying if you're not careful. But then again, I think that's to be said with any Lego set. So yeah, don't be careless with what you're doing. Some of these I will not be pulling out to show them to you on the camera. At the bare minimum, I will be at least pointing them out and just doing that because, hey, it's just better to do that. And it's less of a pain. Okay, so where's the other one? There's one in particular that I'm looking for. Oh, there you are. So this one, I think is one that we all know. And this is lavender. Personally, I actually like lavender. Really good. Nice smell. Also really good for cooking. Believe it or not, I actually use it in steaks. Some people are going to be looking at me like I'm crazy. Yes, I am crazy. But I'm not crazy about that one. That's actually really good. Try it. You'll like it. But yeah. It's simple. But you know what? It does a nice job. Part of me is actually tempted to keep that out given what it is. Let's see what else we got. Uh-huh. Oh, I was wrong. Never mind, that's not a snapdragon. Okay. So these, I'm gonna get over in the camera again. So I was wrong. These are not these are not snapdragons. These are lupins, which is actually really well crafted with how they managed to get the hats. These are pirate hats for the flower petals, and I think that's actually really cool how they managed to do that. I think another thing that's cool is if you have the instructions. I don't remember where they are on mine. I am not going to go fish them out. That's why I have the document right here for the instructions, so that way I can actually see this thing and actually know what it is that I am showing you guys, and you have an understanding and concept as to what it is you're seeing. Yeah, like, get this. Lupin. Originally native to North America, lupins also thrive in the wild in the Mediterranean and Europe. They provide a little bit of information like that. They also have the same text but in different languages. I'm not going to bother guessing what languages they are, but hey. Oh, here we are. Here's another little tidbit, right? The minifigures who wore these pirate hats back in 1989 could never have imagined that their fancy headgear will be one day be used as lupin petals. See what I mean? It's also funny to think about the history of some of these Lego parts, like the lupin. These have parts that's dated back to 1989. That's a long time ago. Think about that. Take a minute if you need it, but yep. Let's see, what else is there? Aha! Okay, so we got these ones and these ones. Okay, so give me a moment. So when I saw these, I thought they were something else. I thought they were sunflowers. I was wrong. Oh gods, please don't. Eek. Okay. Fixing these ones is annoying. Oh, technically they are kind of a sunflower in a way. Whoa, gods, and they're breaking. Yep, I don't like that. I'm gonna quickly put these away as soon as I can. These two, right here, are Gerbera daisies, which are actually a cousin to the sunflower. I didn't know that. Explains why they look this way. Yeah, just give me a moment to think. Yeah, give me a moment. Here, look at that. Fun fact, that part you see right there is a hat. They used that part for, I guess, whatever part of the flower that is. I'm not gonna take a guess. I don't do stuff with flowers again, I mentioned that. Yes, there is you might be able to see a faint layer of dust again. Dust is gonna be your enemy with these things. I'm just gonna say that now. Also, these were the most annoying to make. They were the most annoying to make, for sure. Also, the flower petals on those things are using the ore piece that was used for, well, any set that needed ores, and have been a recent addition to the Lego parts inventory. I say recent. I know it's not as recent, but it's whatever. All right, time's weird for me. Okay, leave me be. So there's that. We also have another one of my favorites. We have larkspur. Now, you can see these. Really pretty. Fun fact, in Warframe there is a giant weapon. It's like a heavy weapon, like you carry around, called the larkspur. And then there's a prime version of it. I didn't know that the larkspur was a flower. Now I do. But yeah, larkspur gives us eye-catching The larkspur gives us eye-catching wildflower seeds and blooming hues of blue across the fields and gardens throughout the northern hemisphere. Nice. Alright, back in you go. If you will be cooperative. Thank you. Okay, what else we got? Oh, that's all there is for the Wildflower Bouquet. Okay. So another thing that I'd like to note is the year that some of these sets were made. So the first one's list that I went through was, again, the Botanical Collection Wildflower Bouquet. Set ID number 10313. Number of pieces, 939. And it was made in the year 2023. That is 3 years ago. Think about that. The next list of flowers that I'm going to be going through is from the Lego Botanical Collection Flower Bouquet, set ID number 1028. No, 10280. There we go. With a parts number list of 756 pieces. And it was made back in 2021. That's 5 years ago. That explains the dust on you. I'm not a fan of dust on Lego. I'm really not. The less dust I could have on these things, the better. They're beautiful, don't get me wrong. They're annoying to clean. Alright, let's see. Yeah, alright. Now for this part, this one's gonna be interesting. So let's start off with a hit. Right off the bat. Some of these actually do not have things for them, and I'm a bit perplexed and, excuse me, annoyed. Maybe I need to do this one. Bear with me, I'm dealing with stuff here. I'm glad I have my laptop for this, but at the same time, I'm also annoyed at the fact that there are so many of these things. Yes, this video is going to probably be very long. I do apologize for some of you who do not want to see something that is this long. But I gotta do what I gotta do to make sure I do this right and do the best I can for this stuff. Alright, so leave me be. Cool, so they don't exactly explain what some of these other things are. I'm just gonna take a guess and say these are some leaves of some kind and leave it at that. Alrighty, so first things first, we got these things, which are leaves, obviously, but I would like to bring your attention to something important. This is a surfboard. I want you to think about that. And they use that for this. Kind of cool how that is, you know? There's a lot of pieces that I use here in these sets to make it interesting. Yes, this one's kind of broken. I don't know where the parts went for that one. I do not want to try thinking about that. So, yeah. Moving on. Let's see. Now this might look a bit weird, but I'll let you take a guess. Also, yeah, this is just kind of... It's doing that. It's whatever. Some of you may notice this looks a bit interesting. There are claws there. The reason for that is because this is a pteranodon wing. They use that for a flower petal. Also, this was originally very rigid, but due to the weight, it actually caused it to bend. So, yeah. Again, these things are going to be on display for a while. Yeah. They have these little pieces right here for the thorns, and the reason why there are thorns on this thing is because, fun fact, this is a rose. And I think it's interesting how they managed to get this thing made due to the fact that they use the hoods of cars. Because you can tell this is like a car hood, you know? Like the ones that they've been using lately. I find that interesting that they did that. Real fascinating. What else we got? Snapdragon. Now this, if you could be cooperative. Now this is the Snapdragon. There's some petals on this that are missing. I know, it's annoying, but it is what it is. You're gonna lose parts of Lego, unfortunately, at some point. But yeah, so this is the Snapdragon. And I'm gonna be honest, this was as annoying as it was cool to build, but it is what it is. Also, I love the use of these little petals here because these are parts that I remember being used in, originally I believe, Bionicle. Yeah, I'm that old that I remember Bionicle. Leave me alone. And yes, I will be showing Bionicle on this channel at some point. You better be ready for that because I'm gonna be excited for those videos. Especially considering the fact that I found some old relics earlier in this year. And I have not gotten around to making those videos due to procrastination and the idea that I have been busy with some things. So yeah, that's why I haven't gotten some of those videos out yet. That and scheduling, so. Sorry about that. Yes, you could have had Bionicle videos by now. Are you getting them? Yes. It's gonna be right when you want it? No. You're at least getting them though, so I don't want to hear anything about it. Hey, yeah, what? Okay, so give me a moment because I'm trying to think about something and I'm... What? I'll get back to that later. So, next one is a aster. Where is it? It's purple. That doesn't narrow it down much. Ah, here it is. Oh. There we go. Come on. So this is an aster. This is a very pretty one. But oh boy, is it kind of one that makes you a little bit like, oh dear gods, please let this not be a pain to assemble. And this is actually kind of, oh gods, I think some parts have been moved around. Yeah, buddy. But yeah, really pretty flower though. I mean, look at that. Okay, calm down. Common Daisy, where are you? I know there's one of you around here somewhere. What? Okay, apparently there's not a common daisy in this thing. I don't know where it went. What? It appears I cannot find the common daisy. Surprisingly not so common. I'm not gonna show you my laptop for this thing. You're just gonna have to look it up on your own. No. Because I can't. I'm tired. All right. I don't want to try and fight with my computer to pull up a full screen when I'm already having enough issues as is. But yeah, I'll just describe it. Common daisy, Margaret commune, Bellis perennius. The most common of all the European species of daisy, this perennial flower blooms from early midsummer, enjoys a long flowering season. The Lego version of the daisy includes 3 blooms plus a small shoot that still has to flower. It's the one that has white, like there's little white petals and there's a yellow disc piece that's supposed to represent the center. So just bear that in mind. You can Google this if you want. I don't know where the daisies went. They're probably in storage. Probably, yeah. No, they're absolutely gonna be in storage now that I think about it. Oh, here we go. Let me find, I actually know what this one is. California poppy. There we go. So this, oh. So this is the California poppy, which is also apparently native to not just California, but also Mexico. And it's also the state flower of California. Used to garnish local traditional food recipes. Huh. You're used to go and be a decorative piece, but also a garnish in food. I mean, there's a possibility that at some point in my life I'm gonna eat this flower. Not this one because it's plastic, but you know what I mean. Interesting. There's some other pieces in here. If I can fish them out. Better question is if they want to let me. I think we all recognize these pieces that are being used, like the old classic Lego bushes. Really nice, all things considered, classic. I'm actually kind of happy to have these things in my collection. It's interesting to see how these were made. They also feel interesting, which is nice. Does this say anything about what exactly these are supposed to be? No. Am I guessing that there are also probably those plants that you have as like filler shrubbery or whatever? Whatever you call it when you have a bouquet, there's a bunch of other green stuff that's in the flower bouquet, right? It's what those are, all right? I don't know. The last one was one that I was not expecting to also be in this set, but apparently it is, and it's annoying as hell to get out of this blasted thing. So, we're going back to lavender again. 2 sets, both made lavender. This is lavender, but so is this. Aha! Yup, I called it. So, I guess this is just a different version of the life cycle of it. But yeah, these are a build for lavender. Give me a moment. Here you go. Oh, yeah, we'll try that. Cultivated widely as an ornamental plant, lavender is also used as a culinary herb and used for the extraction of essential oils. Our interpretation of this flower is created from 117 Lego elements. It includes a sand green stem, reddish brown stalks, and golden leaves and lavender colored flowers. Fitting, considering the fact that this is actually what it's supposed to be. Lavender. Anyway. Yeah. Now, I will also note this is one of the ones I am also very careful with because of the fact that it is what it is and how it is built and constructed. So bear that in mind, and yeah. Now, let's see. There's other flowers in here that are not part of this arrangement. This was one that my mother found on Amazon, I believe. For example. Then again, you can't really tell. Some dust. It's really pretty. It's a really beautiful shade of blue. I love it. I had no issue building this thing at all. What else is here? I think these ones are official, and I believe these ones are lotus flowers. And there's different versions of them, I think. Yeah, this one's missing a petal, but that's to be expected. Sometimes it happens with Lego. But yeah, there's that. Oh, hey, there's that one leaf piece that was missing. Never mind, it's been found again. But yeah. So, we've gone over all of them, minus the common daisy. Sorry, I have no idea where that went, but it is what it is. Yeah. Now that we have taken care of that factor of going through all the flowers, if you want to go back to any of those flowers, feel free to either A, observe them through here, or go back later, further back into the video to go and figure that out. But yeah, let's get back to what we got here, yeah? So, let's see. Okay. No, that's not what I want. Aha! Okay, so give me a moment. I'm working on making sure that I have all the right stuff for this. Aha, okay. So bear with me, right? So Lego Flower Bouquet 10280 that was made back in, I believe, 2021. Yeah, sure, probably that one. This thing goes from around 60 bucks, $59.99, at least where I live. So, bear that in mind. There's that. Apparently, it's still being sold, unless I'm wrong. What do you know? Oh, wait, no, it's retiring soon. At least at this time. Yeah. Where is it? Where? So we got that one. And then there's the Flower Bouquet, 10 to 80, which is also retiring soon. So that's the one that has flowers like the snapdragons in it. Surprisingly, these are both around the same price, $60. Both are retiring soon, of course, but hey, that's to be expected. I mean, these things have been around. One of them has been around for 3 years, and the other one's been around for 5. So the idea that these things are retiring is not to be unexpected, but at the same time, I'll also take into account the fact that there are people that actually want flowers, and they like the idea of having a flower that's not gonna wilt, it's not gonna die, and it's really pretty, you know? Some people like flowers. Guys like flowers, women like flowers, people like flowers. Alright, it's to be expected. So, am I entirely surprised about the fact that these things are lasting these long? No, I'm not. I'm really not. But yeah. Anyway, let's get down to the final notes of this, so I can wrap this up and you all can go about your day. And I can get back to recording because I have 4 more videos to record at this time. At 3:57 a.m. Help. I'm kidding. I actually do like doing this stuff. Do I wish I wasn't doing this at the time that I am right now and for the reasons I have to? No. But I gotta do what I gotta do because these have to go in storage. So yeah, I'm getting the video done, and after that, these things are going to go into the storage. Depending on the circumstances, I might just dismantle some of these things for spare parts because, hey, there's a lot of good pieces in here. But yeah, so let's get into the summary. Pros and cons, right? Pros, you have a flower that is in your display and your decorations that is not going to die, it's not going to wither, and it's just going to stay the way that it is, provided you are not being stupid and you're being mindful of it when you are moving it around, putting it on display, and making sure the pieces don't pop off or fly off. If you do not do that stuff and parts go missing, that is on you. So be mindful of that. Yeah, I'd say that's mostly the pros on that. That also depending on some of the cases, like say, oh hey, you have a person who's a friend, a loved one, holidays, whatever reason, right? You have a mother or father who would appreciate a gift, something like this. You can get them these things, and that's going to be a good gift. Another reason that is good for getting these sets, you have a person who's incredibly autistic, like me, very much autistic with this one, who is going to look at this set and be like, this is going to take a long time. My back is going to hurt because it's going to be like hunched over, like putting together these things, but it's going to be worth it later. That or they're going to be annoyed as all hell when it comes to assembling part of these things, because some of these were annoying. Yeah, so those are the pros. Cons. Personally, considering the price that they have for this thing, I would say wait for sales, depending on which arrangement that you want, so that way you can get something that is more reasonable, at least for you, right? I don't think 60 is quite the mark, I'd probably drop it down maybe to, say, 50 bucks. Make it 50, and I think you're ironclad with that. But that's a minor gripe on my end, but hey, who's going on? Whatever. Anyway, the other gripe that I have and con that I will note with this thing is the idea of cleaning and maintenance, as well as the fact that some of these are actually very delicate. A Lego build of a flower being delicate. Who'd have thought? But yeah, as everybody will tell you who is a person who collects Lego, yeah, dust is going to be your worst enemy. You can't see it like I can. There's dust on some of these things. I don't like that. In fact, earlier today I was actually having to go and clean up some of the other flowers and plants that I have that you are going to be seeing videos of later. This is going to be the first one that I do because I'd rather get this one done and then be over with first, because there's a lot of these things that I have to put into storage. I'm not happy about that already. I'm gonna have to do it though. But yeah, so there's that. Yeah, these things are really cool. They're really nice. Some of these are annoying to build though. They are annoying to build, and you do want to be careful with some of them because, hey, they can be temperamental and the builds can be a bit finicky at times. But aside from that, I'd say this is a good set. Now, would I personally be getting them? No. The reason why I have these is because of my mother. I love her. I really do. Mom, if you're watching this, I appreciate these flowers. Being another building opportunity for me to test my abilities with construction. However, would I necessarily buy these things in general? It's not my thing, really. I mean, I might buy a few here and there for like decorative pieces, but that's that. I'd probably just go with certain things, like maybe the lavender, or maybe this one, for example. Granted, this one is not official. This was found on Amazon, and I built it for my mother. So there's that. Bear that in mind. But yeah. Trying to think. Yeah. Another interesting thing is I've actually seen people try to actually go and sell other brick-built vases for these things, and I'm just... if you have a vase, you have a vase. I mean, if you want to go brick build, go for it, but you're gonna have to be mindful of certain things. But yeah, so there's that. But yeah. Two different sets. You can combine them together to make amazing floral arrangements. And yeah, there's the bonus of the fact that these things are not going to wilt. They're not going to die. They don't need water. They're just plastic, so you can just do that and you'll be fine. But yeah, aside from that fact, you're going to have to be fighting dust for ages. Yeah, no, you're pretty much good on that one. But yeah, let me get a good look at this thing again. Yep. So yeah. That's about it for this one. Dang it. Hold on a minute. Yeah, we're good. So yeah, that's about it for this video. Thank you all for watching. Sorry if this was a bit of a long one, but this is a 2-in-1, well, multiple-in-1. You get the point. Make sure to like and subscribe. It helps me out more than you'd realize, especially with the algorithms. Oh my god, the algorithms. Hit the notification bell so that we can get more uploads through when I post videos. And yeah, make sure to leave a comment. Comment your favorite flower or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's that. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, hug your mother, hug your dad. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will see you all in the next video. See you around. Of course. Give me a minute.
Yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.